Back in 2018, both Seth Godin and Pat Flynn talked about how they thought podcasting was the new blogging. And it feels a lot like that. If you were around online in 2004, you'll know that there was an explosion of blogs. And there were a number of tools that came out to help people with their blogs, from Movable Type and Blogger and LiveJournal and, of course, WordPress, and just a whole bunch of things to make it easier to both produce blog content and consume blog content. And now we're seeing the same thing with podcasting. There are lots of tools coming out, lots of cheaper equipment like microphones that you could just plug directly into your computer, and things like Anchor to help you get up and running with a podcast quickly and easily. And accessing podcasts is becoming easier too. It used to be that you would need to know how to use Apple Podcasts or find an app, but now if you Google a podcast, it will show up with episodes right in the search results. So more and more people are learning what podcasts are and listening to them. On top of that, you don't need to be in a studio to record a podcast. You can get a decent mic for less than $100, plug it into your computer, and away you go. So it's easier, but does that mean you should start a podcast? Why should you start a podcast? That's the question that I want you to think about, and hopefully this video and the workbook, which you can find in the description below this video, will help you answer. Should you put in the time and money to launch your own podcast? Well, there are a few reasons why you might want to do that. It's the next great plane of content. I think that Seth and Pat are both right in that podcasting is the new blogging. And so you'll be able to reach a new audience and put your content out there in a way that is a lot more personable than blogs. So it's the next great plane of content. Plus, unlike blogs or books or even videos, people can passively listen to podcasts. So they can listen while they're driving in the car or mowing the lawn or cleaning or when they're out for a run or anything like that. It is the most convenient way for people to consume content. So you're going to want to be on there anyway. It's also popular, but it's not too popular yet. The pioneers got into podcasting around 2008, 2009. I think the first one predates that by quite a bit, but you saw a popularization, the first kind of early adopters popularization in around 2008, 2009. Now is the time where it's entering the mainstream because it's easier for people to get podcasts. So it is a great way to get and receive content. It is a new plane of content for people. More people know what it is, but it also gives you the ability to help people in a way that maybe you can't with a blog post, right? So people can't hear your inflection, or you can't really emphasize things the way you can with your voice. So podcasting is a great way to do that, to put out content in a way that's really helpful. And of course, it could help you grow your business or your brand or whatever reason for you to start a podcast personally. If you want to help people, you can do that very easily with a podcast. But you should also have your own reason. Ultimately, podcasting is a deeply personal medium. Listeners and hosts can form a great bond and strong trust. So you should have your own reason to get into podcasting. It also takes a lot of work. So if you don't have that strong reason why you want to start a podcast, then you might let it fall to the wayside. There's a great book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why that tells you to define your why first. And that is what I'm asking you to do here. Is there a story that you need to tell? Perhaps you want to impart your knowledge from your career or your personal life. No matter what, you need to figure out your own reason why you need to start this podcast. A question that might help you answer that is, what do I hope my audience gets out of it? Ultimately, your listeners will make or break your show, and there's a lot competing for their attention. So once you come up with your why, figure out what you're doing to make sure your audience gets value. Okay, so as you're thinking about this, let's get into it. I would love for you to post your reason for starting a podcast in the comments down below. If you need a little bit of extra help, grab that workbook, also in the description down below, to help you think through some reasons why you might want to start a podcast. And I'll see you in the next video.